Hi guys, today I'm here to do my February wrap-up and my March TBR. First book I finished in February was A Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin. It's really nice to get back into this world because I really miss the series. I think I would be totally lost if I had never seen the show because there are so many characters. It's kind of hard to keep track of all of the characters who have died on the show and who have died in the book, because if I'm reading about someone in the book that I know has died in the show, I'm always a little confused on how they came back. But I'm hoping to continue with this series. I gave this one 3 stars. Then I picked up Wouldn't Take Nothing for My Journey Now by Maya Angelou. These are just really inspirational short stories, kind of poem-y. This is my first Maya Angelou book, and I absolutely loved it. If it wasn't my mother's, I probably would have marked up every page. I definitely recommend picking this up if you haven't, and it only took me a few hours to get through. Needless to say, I gave this 5 stars. Then I listened to Letter to My Daughter by Maya Angelou. I love listening to this on audiobook because she actually read it. I noticed a lot of things from this book also came from the other book that I read of hers, but I don't know how many times I have to tell you guys to pick up her books because she is just a phenomenal writer, and I gave this one 5 stars. Then my TBR jar pick was Men Without Women by Ernest Hemingway. After reading this book, I decided I don't really care for fiction short stories. Some of them were alright, but most of them I really didn't care for. With short stories, I feel like you're just getting to know the person and then the story ends. But some of them were alright, and I really love Ernest Hemingway, so I gave this one 3 stars. I decided to pick up Cinder by Marissa Meyer. This is my favorite series. I hadn't listened to any of these on audiobook, and I thought it would be really fun to reread them. I'm really enjoying the audio version, so I'm glad I picked it up. And of course, I gave this one 5 stars. Then I picked up the graphic novel Wires and Nerve by Marissa Meyer. I just bought this last month and I've been dying to get to it. I flew through it and really liked it, but I have to be honest, I didn't like it as much as the Lunar Chronicles. I think my problem with it was that I didn't get to imagine the characters anymore, and I don't know if it's that I'm so much older now that I've read it, but it seemed a little young adultish to me. Yes, I know that it is a young adult book, but it was just a little too much for me. But I gave this one 4 stars. Then I checked out on audio Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. I still tried to read a few young adult even though I don't think I'm into it anymore. But I have been wanting to read this book since it came out and I've heard so many great things about it. Again, it got really young adulty in it, but I thought it was still pretty good and it was a really quick read. And I gave this one 3 stars. I've been wanting to read more classics, so I will take any recommendations that you guys have. On YouTube, I listened to Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. He had a really southern accent, but he did accents for different characters. A lot of people complained about his accents, but I thought he did a perfect job on them. I gave this 4 stars. I also listened to Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury on YouTube. I actually thought I'd like this one, and I despised it. It is a classic, so I'm glad that I read it, but this book just really wasn't for me, and I gave this one 2 stars. Then I listened to Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. I listened to this on YouTube as well, and I kind of thought it was a little cheesy. It was almost exactly like the end of the movie Clue, but it just seemed kind of absurd to me, and I gave this one 3 stars. Then I picked up Black Beauty. I listened to this on audio even though I have this really pretty edition. I really did not like this book. I don't know why people consider this a children's book. It was like the horse version of A Little Life. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. All of the horses were tortured and killed, and it was just absolutely dreadful to listen to. I mean, I know that there's a lot of animal cruelty in the world, but this was just over the top. I gave this one 2 stars. Now on to what I'm going to read in March. I'm doing a buddy read. We are reading The Count of Monte Cristo. I knew that this was a huge book, but I didn't realize how big it was until I got it in the mail, and this is absolutely huge. I am really nervous getting into this because it is so intimidating, so I'm really hoping that I like this book and it doesn't bog me down. Now for my TBR jar, this is classics and modern classics. I think since I'm doing The Count of Monte Cristo, I'm only going to pick one this month. Okay, so of course I drew out True at First Light by Ernest Hemingway. Again, I think I'm going to get an Ernest Hemingway every month because I have so many of his books, but I'm not complaining because I absolutely love his writing. I think it has something to do with a safari, which is typical for him, so I will see if I can get through this month. Okay, so those are the books that I read last month and the books that I want to read this month. Let me know what you're reading, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye!